since that time, you've had a lot of people that have been chiming in. I found out about you because I saw the news story just like everybody else, and I was like, I wonder if Mr. Looman's on Facebook, and sure enough, there you are. And I asked if we could be friends, and of course you said, gladly add you to my friends, and anytime you want to talk to a patriot, I'm your man. And then sometime later, it occurred to me, gosh, maybe. Maybe Bill'd come on Loving, Caring, and Sharing and do an interview. And sure enough, you said, yeah. And since then, we've become kind of buddies and friends. And, you've had a pretty active week, too, I'd say. Just in as much as a lot of people have been really stirred up by a lot of things that have been going on. And, I'm just curious, do you have anything you'd like to address about just this week for yourself in terms of anybody who might be listening wondering about some of the things that have been going on?
I don't mince words very well, so I'll just come right out and say it.
I know. That's what I'm asking.
HR 347 was put forth, and it's being fast-tracked, it seems. It went through the House, almost unanimously was voted on and then passed on to the Senate, and I don't know where it stands right now. I haven't been following up on it, but that bill in itself is, by most people's interpretation, a direct attack on the First Amendment, because it says basically you're not allowed to trespass on government grounds where there may be a politician, or you could face arrest, just to put it in a nutshell. So a lot of patriot friends I have out there are talking about loading up in pickup trucks and taking the country back, I'm kind of trying to be the calming factor and say, hey, look, it's not the honorable thing to do. Mm-hmm. If you think back to the American Revolution, we protested and threw tea over the side of a ship, but the first incident that happened was when Daniel's friends over there tried to tell us to lay our weapons on the ground, and then on April 19th, the shot heard around the world occurred, and that was the actual spark that ignited the American Revolution and eventually the independence of the 13 colonies. Right. So the honorable thing to do is to let the other side that is seeking the power and the oppression, let them be violent. Let
them do the dirty work. We don't need to be involved in that. We're above that.
Yeah, the more honorable thing to do is to finish the fight if they start it.
Yeah, but the thing is taking your country back, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but you don't. Here's the thing: you walk into some very dangerous territory with some people who can actually be advocating violence. Right. That is not what the
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
And I'm saying that for the benefit of the listeners, because there are people that will post things that can incite people into doing things that they might not normally do if they had a clear head. If they're all jazzed up and upset, it's an amazing thing. The world we live in has gotten a lot smaller with the internet, and friends of Bill can get on there and say stuff and get a couple people agitated, and it happens. It's just, look, there were shootings that were taking place with gangs and with kids in school over comments made in Facebook. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, the sad commentary is the adults haven't behaved much better in a lot of ways. So I'm glad you got a chance to say that, Bill, because we're just about out of time here. I can't believe it. 2 hours went by like grease
lightning. It just flew by.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Well, look, Bill, I'm really glad you joined our show tonight, and I want to invite you to come back as soon as we do get back up and running. Like I said, we're going to be taking a week, possibly 2 off. Daniel's going to get the PBX straightened out, and we'll be back up and running. No worries. We just have to reschedule 1 or 2 of our guests that we have for March, and hopefully that won't be a big inconvenience for them. Certainly, Steve, could you tell everybody who we're looking forward to having join us in the upcoming shows down the road?
Well, our next guest is supposed to be Wild Bill for America, and I'm looking forward to that show.
Me too.
It will be a continuation of a lot of the things we've talked about tonight. That's
right. And Bill, you'll be able to join us for that, I hope.
Oh yeah, I always wanted to ride back seat to Wild Bill. I'm actually been dubbed Wild Bill 2.0. I'm just not as polished as he is.
And then after that, we've got...
I always like the diamond in the rough, so you just stay the way you are, buddy.
That's right. That's right. And then after that, we've got Juliana Barwick scheduled. She is an artist out of New York that sings in a very unique style. And we will demonstrate some of her music during that show and get to talk with her. I've known her since the day she was born. And we're really looking forward to hearing what she has to say. And then we have other shows on the horizon as well. And we enjoy the time we get to spend with the people here listening in at North Star. We really do, and look forward to these nights more than you know.
That's for sure. Well, we're at that time, guys, and I want to thank everybody for the folks that tried to call in and it didn't work out. I apologize about that. I don't know what caused it, but certainly we want to try and make sure, and this is why we're going to make sure the PBX is straightened out for when we get back on. First and foremost, I want to thank my producer, Daniel Davison, for manning the helm, as it were, taking the wheel and running all the controls. Thanks, Daniel. I always appreciate that about you.
That's my pleasure.
And Steve, of course, my co-host and the master of arms here at Loving, Caring, Sharing. Always a pleasure. I'm glad you're all that stuff you're going through is behind you now. Being sick and you sounded like death warmed over a week and a half ago.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you joined us again tonight, buddy. And of course, Don Hartness was online with us. He had some problems with his phone connections. He had to drop out. And certainly, Bill Looman, thanks again for joining us. I really appreciate it, buddy.
And Tyler as well.
And Tyler, I was going to get to Tyler. I was going to say the best for last. That's right. Tyler, anything you want to say to our listeners tonight before we shove off?
Yeah, I was just glad to be here.
Yes. Very nice to have you on here.
All right, so we'll have you back again for Teen Corner. And in the meantime, I just want to say that it has been my great pleasure to have Love and Caring Sharing on North Star Radio, and to have you all calling in tonight and hanging out with us to talk about the things we talk about. It's nice having a round-table discussion. We'll be back again soon. You all bear with us, and look for our posts on Facebook, and stay tuned. Good night, everybody, and God bless you. Yeah, baby. Yeah.